This problem is related to design of a continuous beam. First I will read this problem and then I will solve the problem. Okay. This question was asked on November 2017 for 17 marks. RCC beam ABCD spanning over 4 supports. Spanning over 4 support means it having 3 spans. Carries a live load of 12 kN per meter and dead load from wall 300 mm wide and 2.8 meter high. Okay. If M20 and F415 material combination used, design the continuous beam using RS provisions. Okay. Span AB BC is equal to CD is equal to 6 meter. Again, the unit weight of a brick wall is given, it is 19 kN per meter cube. And finally, they required the reinforcement details. Now what to do? First of all, the question, the main points of question is live load is given in the question. Dead load separately not given. The dead load is given in form of a brick wall load. Okay, so you have to consider that load as a dead load, and self weight of a beam you have to consider separately in the dead load. Okay, so the span is 4 meter. So first I will sketch it, then I will show you how to design the beam. So this is a continuous beam. Okay, so this is the continuous beam. Okay, 3 span continuous beam means 4 support A, B, C, D. Okay, the each span is 6 meter, 6 meter, 6 meter, 6 meter, and on this beam the live load is given in form of UDL. On this beam the live load is given in form of UDL. So live load is, it is 12 kN per meter. 12 kN per meter. Now, on this beam, the wall is given. On this beam, the wall is supported. Okay, I want to sketch the line diagram of wall. Okay, so this is the wall. It clearly mentioned in the question. Okay, I want to show the wall like this. Okay, I want to show the wall like this. This wall is brick wall. Okay, supported by the beams, supported by the beam. Okay. Now, what is the width of the wall? What is the width of the wall? The width of the wall is 300 mm. Okay. What is the height of the wall? It is 2.8 meter. What is the height of the wall? It is 2.8 meter. Now, how to convert, how to take the dead load, how to take the weight of that wall in calculation. So, how to find out the weight of the wall? Okay. So, weight of wall is equal to, that means it is a dead load. Okay, so width of the wall into height of the wall into density of the wall. That means volume into density. That means the volume into density, volume into unit weight of the wall, volume into unit weight of the wall. So volume is width of the wall into height of the wall into length of the wall. Always consider the length of the wall is 1 meter. Okay, and finally density of the wall. So what is the width of the wall? Width of the wall is 0.3 meter. 0.3 meter. Width of the wall is, it is given in question, this 0.3 meter. Okay, height is 2.8 meter and density is 19. Density is 19. So what is the weight of the wall per kilonewton per meter? It is 0.3 into 2.8 into 19. So this is 15.96 kilonewton per meter. So this is the weight of the wall. So this is the weight of the wall. You have to consider it as a dead load. Again, you have to consider one more load as a dead load. It is the self weight of the beam. It is the self weight of beam. Self weight of the beam. So to assume self weight as 0.5 kilonewton per meter. 0.5 kilonewton per meter. Then what is the total dead load? So what is the total dead load? Total dead load is weight of the wall is 15.96 plus 0.5 is the weight self weight of the beam. So 15.96 plus 0.5. So this is a 16.46 kilonewton per meter. So this is the dead load acting on the beam. By considering the self weight of a beam is 0.5 meter and weight of the wall is 15.96. If you add both these values, you get the total dead load on a beam is 16.46 kN per meter and live load on beam is 12 kN per meter. Using these two loads, now you have to design the continuous beam. Using these two loads, now you have to design the continuous beam. Is it clear? Okay. Now, what to do the next? We have the total dead load on beam is 16.46 kilonewton. Okay, and live load is 12 kilonewton per meter. Okay. Now the further steps. So now I want to sketch this beam at this location. Okay. So beam is having the 3 spans, each of 6 meter, 6 meter, 6 meter, and on this beam having the total load of dead load is 16.46 kilonewton per meter. Okay, and live load is 12 kilonewton per meter. So this is the loading on the beam. Support A, support B, C, and D. Before going to design, first you have to analyze the beam. Now, in analysis, what you have to do? You have to find out the bending moment at different locations. Okay. So first you have to find out the span moments. You have to find out the end span moment at AB. If you find out the end span moment AB, you get the end span moment CD because it having the same loading and same span. Then to find out the bending moment at interior span. Okay. Next you have to find out the support moments. Support moment at A is 0 and at D is 0 because we know that when the continuous beam having end support simply supported, at that location the bending support moment is 0. Now you have to find out the bending moment at next to end support B. Okay. If you find out the bending moment at next to end support B, simultaneously you get the bending moment at support C. Okay, because the loading condition is same as well as span is same. But the beam having 3 span, loading is equal, so you have to use the analysis method as a IS code method. Okay. So first is the analysis of beam. Okay. In that, first find out the span moments. span moment. Let's find out the first span moments. In that, end span moment AB and CD. End span moment AB and CD. Now, what are the coefficients? Now, using the IS code, you have to find out the bending moment. So, bending moment at end span, the end span coefficients are 1 by 12 W dead L square plus 1 by 10 W L square with the reference of table 12. The reference of table 12 of IS 456 2000 version. Now put all the values here. So 1 by 12. So dead load is 16.46. Span is 6 meter. Span is 6 meter plus 1 by 10. Die load is 12. Span is 6 meter. Now find out the value. 1 by 12 into 16.46 into 6 into 6. Okay. This value is 49.38. Okay, then 1 by 10 into 12 into 36, it is 43.2. If you add both of these, 49.38, so this is 92.58 kilonewton meter. So this is the bending moment at end span AB and CD, because both spans are end span. Loading is same as well as the amount of span is same. But you have to convert that value into ultimate condition, because the given load in the question is not in ultimate condition. So you have to convert that load into an ultimate condition by multiplying 1.5. If you multiply this value by 1.5, okay, 1.5 into 92.58, the value is 138.87 kilonewton meter. So this is the bending moment at end span AB and CD. Now, next is to find out the bending moment. Bending moment at interior. Bending moment at interior span BC. Now bending moment at interior span BC. So what are the coefficients? I have the IS code 1 by 16 W dead L square plus 1 by 12 W live L square. Okay, so 1 by 16, dead load is 16.46 into 6 square. 1 by 12, live load is 12 into 6 square. So what is the value? The value is 1 by 16 into 16.46 into 36 plus 1 by 12 into 12 into 36. I think this value is 73.03 kilonewton meter. And if you want to convert this value into ultimate condition, you multiply by 1.5, it is 109.55 kilonewton meter. So this is the span moment at interior location, that is interior span BC. Now the next important thing, you have to find out the support moment. To find out the support moment. The support moment is, only have to find out the one support moment is next to end support. Next to end support B and C, because the loading is same as well as span is same. So what are the coefficients? The coefficients are the Dead load coefficient is 1 by 10. It is 1 by 10 W dead L square plus 1 by 9 W live L square. Okay, so 1 by 10 dead load is 16.46. Now, which span you have to use? So, this support is related to these two spans. These two spans having the same amount, so you have to put the 6 meter here. Okay, 6 meter. 6 square plus 1 by 9, 12 into 6 square. So, what is the value? 1 by 10. I have to find out the 6 into 36 plus 1 by 9 into 12 into 36. The value is, it is 107.25 kilonewton meter. Okay, and now if you convert this value into ultimate load condition, it is 1.5. It gives the 160.88 kilonewton meter. So this is the bending moment on next to end support P. So this is the analysis of beam related to the flexure. That means you have to find out the bending moment at different locations. At different locations. Now I want to write down these values particularly. Okay, so bending moment at it is 138.87. Okay, this bending moment is 109.55. Okay, and on next to end support, so I have to write down it is 160.88. 160.88. So this bending moment is related to this support. So these are the bending moment, and if you have calculated the bending moment, that means the analysis is completed. The analysis is related to the flexure only. Analysis is related to the flexure only. Now, what you have to do? Now you have to decide the dimensions of beam. That means design of beam. That means design of beam. Okay. Next thing is design of beam. Design of beam. Okay. Design of beam. You have to find out the width of the section and depth of the section, and find out the steel is nothing but the design of beam. So now you have to find out the depth of the section for maximum bending moment. We have now 3 bending moments. 138.87 bending moment at end span, 109.55 bending moment at indicate span, 160.88 is bending moment is at max to end support. So whichever is the maximum, for that bending moment you have to provide the depth of the section. So provide depth of section, depth of beam for maximum bending moment. For maximum bending moment, provide the depth of the beam for the maximum bending moment. So MUR balance is equal to MUR max is equal to RU max BD square. Okay, so we know this formula. I have to put the maximum bending moment is 160.88 into 10 raised to 6. What is RU max? 0.138 FCK BD square. So what about the width of the section? The wall width is 300 mm. So generally in practice, what is the wall width? That same width is provided to the beam. Okay. So provide width of the section is 300 mm. So now what is the depth? So 160.88 into 10 raised to 6, it is 0.138. FCK is 20. B to the section is 300. Now we find out the depth. So what is the depth of the section for maximum bending moment? What is the depth of the section for the maximum bending moment? That I will calculate 160.88 into 10 divided by 0.18, FCK is 20 into 300. Okay, under root of section it is 440.79. So answer is 440.79 mm. So say as 450 mm overall depth, sorry, effective depth of the section. Now assume effective cover is equal to 50 mm. Then overall depth is 450 plus 50. So 500 mm is the overall depth of the section. 500 mm is the overall depth of the section. So what is the final decision? That the width of section is 300 mm and effective depth is 450 mm and overall depth is 500 mm. So these are the dimensions of the beam. So by providing the depth for maximum bending moment, the benefit of this step is at each location. That means at end span, at intermediate span, at next to end support, at each location, the beam is acting as an under reinforced section. This is the benefit to provide the depth of the section for the maximum bending moment, isn't it? Okay. Now, what to do? Now you have to provide the steel because dimensions are decided as well as we know the bending moment. You have to provide the steel. You have to provide the steel at end span AB. You have to provide the steel for intermediate span BC. You have to provide the steel for the next to end support B. For 3 bending moments, you have to provide the steel using that under root formula. This is the design of a beam. Now what to do? Now find out the steel, find out the tension steel. Okay. So next step is calculation of tension steel. So steel for end span AB and CD, because both span having same loading, same span. A steel for end span AB and CD. So what is the formula? A steel is equal to 0.5 FCK divided by F into bracket 1 minus under root of 1 minus 4.6 mu. Okay. FCK BD square into PD. So 0.5. FCK is 20. F1 is 4.5. 1 minus under root of 1 minus 4.6. What is mu? Bending moment at end span is 138.87. It is 138.87 into 10 raised to 6 divided by FCK is 20. P2 section is 300. Effective depth is 450. Okay, 300 into 450. So do the calculation and find out the steel. So it is 4.6 into 138.87 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 20 into 3. Now for this bending moment 138.87, the total AST is 1011.68 mm square. So if you assume the 20 mm bar diameter, so you have to provide the 4 bars. Now what is the next? So now you have to provide the steel for the interior span BC. Interior span BC. So steel for interior span BC. So you have to use same formula, but only have to change the bending moment. Bending moment, and that bending moment is 109.55 into 10 raised to 6. All other parameters are same. Okay. Now to find out the steel for the bending moment 109.55 value. Okay. So now I am going to calculate 4.6 into 109.55 to 10 divided by 20 into 300 into 450 into 450. Okay, I will calculate it. 0.414. So 1 is 0.414 under root of answer. Okay, 0.7655. 1 minus 0.7655 into 0.5 into 20 divided by 415 into 300 into 450. The value is 762.83 mm square. So this is the steel. Now if you assume the 20 mm bar diameter, so divided by, okay, 5 by 4, 20 into 20, okay, so 2.42 say as three numbers. So you have to provide the bottom steel for interior span BC 3 bars of 20 mm diameter. Now you have to find out the steel for next to end support B. So steel for next to end support. Similar as C, okay, because loading is same as well as span is same. Now you have to use again same formula because it is acting as an under reinforced section. So only change the amount of bending moment. It is 160.88 into 10 raised to 6. 160.88 into 10 raised to 6. Now what is the value? So I will calculate 4.6 into 160.88 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 20 into 300 into 450 into 450. Okay, 0.6090. 1 minus 0.6090 under root of answer. It is 0.6252. 1 minus 0.6252. Okay, into 0.5 into 20 divided by 415 into 300 into 450. The value is 1219.22 mm square. So now you have to provide a 25 mm bar diameter. 25 mm bar diameter. So what is the value? What is the number of bar? 4 into 25 into 25. So the 2.48. That means you have to provide the 3 bars at top on support. Okay. So I will write it here. Now there is no need of this amount. Okay. So here 3 bars of 25 mm. 3 bars of 25 mm diameter. The steel is provided at top of B and at top of C, particularly on that location. So this is the design of a beam for flexure. Now I am going to tell you how to design the beam for shear. I will love this. How to design the beam for shear. So design of shear reinforcement. Okay. design of shear reinforcement. Design of shear reinforcement. So for that, first to find out the maximum shear force. The maximum shear force is available always on next to end support. Okay, so maximum shear force V. Okay, so V max is equal to 0.6 W dead into span, 0.6 W live into span. Okay, so the coefficients taken from the table 13, page number 36, IS 456. So 0.6. So what is the dead load? Dead load is 16.46. Span is 6 meter. 0.6. What is the live load? Live load is 12 meter. Sorry, 12 kilometer per meter. Span is 6. So what is the amount? Okay, so 0.6 into 16.46 into 0.6 into 16.46 into 6 plus 0.6 into 12 into 6. The value is, it is 102.45 kilonewton. So what is the ultimate value? Because these two loads are in working load condition, you have to convert that shear force into ultimate by multiplying 1.5. What we get? It is 153.68 kilonewton. So this is your ultimate shear force, and for this shear force you have to design the shear reinforcement. For this shear force you have to design the shear reinforcement, isn't it? Is it clear? So what is the amount of maximum shear force? The amount of maximum shear force on next to end support, that is the V is equal to 153.68 kilonewton, and this shear force is maximum at support B and at support C on outer side. Okay, so don't go for the different shear force values. You have to design the beam for the maximum shear force. It is enough to considering the shear design. Okay. Now, what is the step number 1? Nominal shear stress. What is the nominal shear stress? Nominal shear stress tau V. Tau V is equal to VU divided by B into D. So what is the VU? It is 153.68 into 10 raised to 3 divided by width is 300 and effective depth is 450. Effective depth is 450. So now I want to find out this value. It is 153.68 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 300 into 450. The value is 1.13 megapascal. So this is the tau V. Now permissible shear stress. Permissible shear stress in concrete. Permissible shear stress in concrete is tau C. How it is calculated? The tau C depends on PT. So for that, first you have to find out the PT. PT is equal to 100 AS upon B into D. Now 100. What is the AS? So AS is the steel provided. AS is the tension steel provided at location where the maximum shear force is present. Okay. Our maximum shear force is present at next to end support B. At next to end support B, our steel is 3 bars of 25 mm. So you have to provide the 3 bars of 25 mm. Width is 300 and depth is 450. Now, what is the value of PT? Okay. So it is expressed by 4 into 25 into 25 into 3 into 100 divided by 300 into 450. Okay. So it is 1.09. 1.09. The value is 1.09. Now with the reference of IS 456, page number 73. Page number 73. So it is 1.09. Nothing but it is nearly 1. Nothing but it is nearly 1. But say as it is nearly 1. Okay, it is 1%. 1%. So for tau c value for 1%, it is for N20 grade concrete it is 0.62 Newton per mm square. It is 0.62 Newton per mm square. 0.62 Newton per mm square. Now what is the value of tau c max? So tau c max is 2.8 Newton per mm square. 2.8 Newton per mm square. Now to compare these three values. That is tau c max is more than tau b, is more than tau c. It is 2.8. The tau b is 1.13. And tau c is 0.62. Shear reinforcement is required. Okay. So what is your remark? Shear reinforcement is required. Shear reinforcement is required. That means you have to assume the form of shear reinforcement and provide the proper design. That means assume the two-legged vertical stirrups. So assume 8 mm diameter two-legged vertical stirrups. Okay, assume 8 mm diameter two-legged vertical stirrups. Now you have to find out the spacing. Using the formula VUS is equal to 0.87 Fy ASV into D divided by SV. Simple, use this formula and find out the spacing of the stirrups. Okay. Now what we have to do? So what is the VUS? So VUS is the shear force for shear stirrups. So VUS is the shear force for shear stirrups. Okay, how it is calculated? Maximum shear force minus shear force taken by concrete. Maximum shear force minus shear force taken by concrete, it is tau c BD. So what is the maximum shear force? It is 153.68 into 10 raised to 3. The value of tau c is 0.62. Width of the section is 300. Effective depth is 450. Directly you get the VUS. Now I want to calculate these things. It is 153.68 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, minus it is 0.62 into 300 into 450. The value is only 69.98 kilonewton. For this shear force, you have to design the spacing. You have to find out the spacing. So put this value here. VUS is 69.98 into 10 raised to 3 in this formula. It is 0.87 Fy is 415. What is the ASV? ASV is the area of one stirrup bar multiplied by legs. That means pi by 4 8 square into 2-legged. Depth of the section is 450 divided by SV. Now find out the spacing using this formula. Okay, so 0.87 Fy is 415 into 100.53 into 450. Okay, so 69.98 into 10 divided by 0.87 Fy is 415 into 100.53 into 450. Okay, the spacing is, oh I have, okay, but 187 Fy is 415 into 100.53 into 450 divided by 69.98 into 10 raised to 3, 233.40 mm. So say as 230 mm center to center. But this calculated spacing should not be more than, this calculated spacing should not be more than, I want to rub this, the spacing should not be more than, spacing should not be more than, the first criteria is 0.75 of D, D is 450 mm, from this we get one value, okay, this value is 337.5, okay, second is 300 mm, and third is minimum spacing criteria, and that criteria is ASP upon B into SP is equal to 0.4 divided by 187 Fy as per IS 456 2000 version, page number 48. So ASP is nothing but this value, and this value is 100.53. 100.53 divided by B to is 300. SV we have to find out. 0.4 divided by 0.87 Fy is 415. From this we have to calculate the spacing. Okay, so what is the value? 0.4 divided by 0.87 Fy is, it is this particular value is 1.10 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, so this value is multiplied by, okay, 100.53 divided by, okay, 300 into 1.10 into 10 raised to minus 3. So this value is 304.63 mm. I have to provide the minimum of these four values. One is this, second is this, third is this, 4. The minimum value is 230 mm center to center. That means you have to provide the 8 mm diameter two-legged stirrups at 230 mm center to center throughout the section. Okay. So this is the design of a beam for flexure and shear. This is design of a beam for flexure and shear. Now I want to draw the longitudinal section. Now I want to draw the longitudinal section. Okay. Now already we have the design. Okay. What is our design? Our design is end span AB having tension steel 4 bars of 20 mm. End span CD having tension steel 4 bars of 20 mm. Interior span BC having tension steel 3 bars of 20 mm. On next to end support steel is 3 bars of 25 mm. Same steel provided to provide at support C, and stirrups is 8 mm two-legged 230 mm center to center. Now how to sketch these things? I will tell you in details. So this is your longitudinal section of the beam. So this is your first span. Okay, this is your second span, and this is your last span. Okay. Now what you have to do? The end span AB having a bottom steel is, this is your bottom steel. Is 4 bars of 20 mm diameter. Like this you have to write down. Same thing, you have to provide the same reinforcement at this location. Okay, 4 bars of 20 mm diameter, 20 mm tall. Okay, now you have to provide the 3 bars of 20 mm diameter at this location. Okay, so 3 bars of 20 mm diameter at this location. Okay, from here 4 bars are running. From this section 3 bars are running. Then again the 4 bars are running at bottom. Again the 4 bars are running at the bottom. Now what about the top stick? At top you have to provide the uh, 23 bars of 25 mm tall. 3 bars of 25 mm tall at this location. 3 bars of 25 mm tall at this location. Okay. Now we don't require these things. I will rub this. I will rub these things. Okay. So this reinforcement is provided L by 4 from the center, L by 4 from the center, L by 4 from the center, L by 4 from the center. Okay. Now you have to provide the shear reinforcement. For shear reinforcement, there is a requirement of 2 minimum bar running at top from one end to another end, from this end to this end. So you have to extend the bar, 25 mm bar. Okay, so 2 bars of 25 mm tall at this location. Same thing, 2 bars of 25 mm tall at this location. 2 bars of 25 mm tall at this location. You have to extend the bar, and at this location only L by 4 length, L by 4 that means L by 2 length, only 3 bars of 25 mm bars. Now the shear. So shear stirrups you have to provide like this. Shear stirrups you have to provide like this throughout the section, because already we have designed the shear stirrups for maximum shear reinforcement. Okay, and this shear reinforcement is 8 mm 2-legged 230 cm. 8 mm 2-legged 230 cm throughout the beam. Now what? If you take the cross section at this location, that will be this A dash. If you cut the beam at this location, so what is the cross section of the beam at this location? The cross section of beam is, the width of beam is 300 mm, overall depth is 500 mm. Okay, at top you have to provide the 2 bars of 25 mm. 2 bars of 25 mm. At bottom you have to provide the 4 bars of 20 mm. Like this you have to show 4 bars of 20 mm, and then you have to show the stirrups like this. So how to write the details? Okay, it is 2 bars of 25 mm tall. Okay, so this is the 4 bars of 20 tall, and stirrups are 8 mm 2-legged stirrups at 230 center to center. So this is the cross section of beam at AA dash. Now if you want to take the cross section at this location, if you take the cross section at this location, so what is the cross section? The cross section is width of beam is 300 mm, overall depth is 500 mm. At top you have to provide the 25, you have to show the 25 mm 2 bars. At bottom 20 mm 3 bars. At bottom 20 mm 3 bars, and the stirrups are same. That means you have to show the stirrups same. Okay, and at this location 3 bars of 20 mm diameter and at this location 2 bars of 25 mm diameter. So this is the cross section and BB dash is a cross section and BB dash. Now if we want to take the cross section just right of this side, just right of this support, CC dash, if you want to take the cross section just right of this support, okay. So what is the cross section? What is the cross section details? What is the cross section details? The width of section is 300 mm, overall depth is 500 mm. At top you have to show the 3 bars of 25 mm diameter. 3 bars of 25 mm diameter, and at bottom 4 bars of 20 mm diameter. 4 bars of 20 mm diameter. The cross section is just right of this support, support C, okay. And shear stirrups are like this. Shear stirrups are like this, okay. So the reinforcement details are 3 bars of 25 mm diameter, so 4 bars of 20 mm diameter, and the stirrups are, how to write the stirrups? It is 8 mm diameter, 2-legged stirrups, 2-legged stirrups, and 230 center to center. So this is the cross section of beam at CC dash. Cross section of beam at CC dash. Like this you have to show the reinforcement details. Like this you have to show the reinforcement details and put this detailed drawing on site. And with reference of this detailing, the site work is easy to erect the steel. Easy to erect the steel.